The sixth and penultimate stage of the race between two seas, Tirreno-Adriatico would take the riders from Carticeto in Lucrezia to Frontignano, Usita, a first summit finish in the Marche region for this popular ski station, and 3,400 metres of climbing in prospect for the riders, 163 kilometres of racing, a sawtooth profile, and it's only going upwards in the final 7.7 kilometres, two categorised climbs along the way, and a final summit finish at an average of approaching 8%. Early on, investment for the early break, including former world champion Mathieu van der Poel, but it was his teammates that went in the break. Gianni Vermeersch for the Opposing de Koning squad. A group of 8 riders clear of the field, maximum advantage of 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Best placed rider in that group, Andrea Vendrame, already a stage winner this week, the 30-year-old Italian with the Decathlon AG Tour Le Mondial squad, looking for further glory. And the bunch winched along under the watchful eyes of the UAE Team Emirates squad. The Q36.5 team also contributing for Tom Pidcock, UAE Team Emirates, in support of Juan Ayuso, the pre-stage and indeed pre-event favourite, accounting for the stage success that would carry him into the overall race lead. Filippo Ganna with a 22-second margin at the head of general classification, heading into this penultimate stage, but fearful that his days in blue might be numbered as the Red Bull Border Hansgrohe squad set a searing agenda in the approach to the final hill on behalf of Jai Hindley, an Australian rider looking to move up on general classification and perhaps snatch a stage success along the way. In the lower slopes of the final climb, the breakaway group beginning to fracture under sustained pressure, initially from Samuele Battistella, VF Education Easy Post. As for Stuyven, climbing well, Vermeersch also looking good on the climb in the early stages, but the breakaway group's advantage down to just a handful of seconds with 5 kilometres remaining. At the back of the group of favourites, Jan Izagir quite getting the sensations that he would like, Mark Hirschi and others also being detached. Just over 4 kilometres from the line, Juan Ayuso on the attack as he ran out of teammates. Tom Pidcock able to respond as they passed the last surviving rider from the breakaway group, Andrea Vendrame. And not long after that, Juan Ayuso finding himself racing solo on the climb. Pidcock and Hindley working hard to try and limit their losses. Mikel Landa for the Soudal-QuickStep squad also involved in the chase behind, but it was all about one man, 22-year-old from Barcelona in Spain, Juan Ayuso, the UAE Team Emirates XRG squad, seemingly imperious and seemingly nothing that anyone could do about him, as other riders worked hard to try and stay in touch and move up on general classification and maintain a position within touching distance of the overall race leader, who would now be Juan Ayuso, taking stage victory on stage 6 of Tirreno-Adriatico, and with it moving into the overall race lead. Ultimately 13 seconds in hand over the group led in by Tom Pidcock. Jai Hindley staying in touch with his English rival. Mikel Landa also performing well on the mountain. An exhausted Juan Ayuso, but with much to celebrate. Filippo Ganna, wonderful rearguard performance from the stage 1 winner. He moves out of the blue jersey, but nonetheless did enough to stay on the podium. Juan Ayuso now with just one stage remaining to hold on to his advantage. 147 kilometres in prospect, but it's Ayuso that scores the victory and moves into the overall race lead. Pidcock second, Hindley third, Landa, Tiberi, G and the rest of the top 10 riders all performing with distinction on the Frontignano. The general classification situation, very strong situation for Juan Ayuso with 37 seconds of a margin ahead of Antonio Tiberi, with Filippo Ganna still in the top 3 ahead of G, Hindley, Pidcock, Landa, Dela Cruz, Bilbao and the rest. And the final stage remaining for the riders, just 147 kilometers of this Tirreno-Adriatico remaining as they head towards the traditional finale in San Benedetto del Tronto, one that's anticipated to be won for the sprinters.